One of Wrexham's most passionate warriors sits on the bench watching his teammates fight without him, and now whispers from Ireland suggest his Red Dragons journey might be coming to an end sooner than anyone imagined. Alright Wrexham fans, if you love the Red Dragons like I do, smash that subscribe button because we need to talk about something that's been brewing at the racecourse, and it's not good news. James McElhenney. The name alone stirs emotion amongst Wrexham supporters. The Irish international who arrived with fire in his belly, ready to lead this club's charge through the leagues. But right now, something's broken, and it might be beyond repair. McElhenney has made just 12 appearances this season. 12! For a player who's built his entire career on intensity, on never backing down, on giving absolutely everything. He's become a spectator. And here's what's got everyone talking. His former club, Derry City, wants him back, and their gaffer, Tiernan Lynch, isn't exactly denying it. When asked directly about bringing McElhenney home to the League of Ireland, Lynch gave the classic no comment response. But anyone who's followed football long enough knows what that means. There's conversations happening, serious ones. This isn't just about one player potentially leaving. This is about what it says about where Wrexham are right now in the Championship, about squad harmony, about ambition. McElhenney himself has admitted the last 2 or 3 months haven't been ideal, that he's struggling with not playing. For a warrior like him, that's the equivalent of a breaking point. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to when it all looked so different. August 2023. Wrexham had just stormed the National League, winning the title with Hollywood fanfare and genuine footballing quality. The club was preparing for League Two, and Phil Parkinson knew exactly what he needed. Experience, leadership, someone who'd been there and done it. Enter James McElhenney. The deal was £250,000 from Wigan Athletic. Not a fortune, but proper money for a club still adjusting to life in the Football League. McElhenney wasn't just any signing, he was a statement. A Republic of Ireland international with over 100 caps, a player who'd competed in the Premier League, who'd played under pressure his entire career. The kind of footballer who could handle the unique madness that comes with being at the most famous non-league turned championship club on the planet. And initially, it was everything Wrexham fans hoped for. McElhenney brought an edge to the side, that old-school mentality, the refusal to be bullied, the absolute commitment to the cause. You could see it in training ground footage on Welcome to Wrexham. You could feel it when he pulled on that red shirt. He was one of the lads, but he was also the experienced head the dressing room needed. Last season, as Wrexham marched through League Two and secured back-to-back promotions, something almost unheard of in modern football, McElhenney played his part. Not always starting, but contributing when called upon. The dream was alive, and he was part of writing the story. But then came the Championship, the step up that tests everyone. Wrexham weren't just climbing anymore, they were fighting to stay at a level where clubs have decades of second-tier experience, where squads are deeper and stronger, where competition for places is absolutely ruthless. Behind closed doors, things were shifting. Parkinson was building a squad capable of not just surviving in the Championship, but competing. New signings arrived, younger legs, different tactical approaches. And gradually, almost imperceptibly at first, McElhenney found himself further down the pecking order. 12 appearances, most from the bench. For a player who spent his career starting matches, leading by example, this was torture. Then came the interview that changed everything. Speaking candidly on Nicky Byrne HQ, McElhenney didn't hold back. He admitted, "To be honest, I really enjoyed it until the last 2 or 3 months. It hasn't been ideal. I haven't been playing as much as I'd like, which is never good." These weren't throwaway comments. This was a player laying bare his frustration, his disappointment. "You want to play and you want to be in the mix," he continued. "I've never dealt well with not playing." Here's a footballer who's fought battles his entire career on and off the pitch, admitting he's struggling. That the situation at Wrexham, the club he joined with such optimism, has left him feeling sidelined and unfulfilled. And here's where it gets fascinating. McElhenney revealed how he's coping, boxing training, channeling all that frustration into a heavy bag, finding release in a completely different sport. Before, I used to throw tantrums, he confessed. Now, I channel that frustration into the punch bag, and it seems to relieve some of the tension. But then came the bombshell. McLean admitted he's had informal conversations about pursuing boxing after football, specifically with Misfits Boxing. He said, "I have a bigger passion for boxing now than football. I'd rather watch a boxing match than a football match." Read that again. A professional footballer still under contract at Wrexham admitting his passion for the game has waned, that boxing excites him more than football. What would you have done if you were Phil Parkinson hearing those words? How do you manage a player who's publicly questioning their commitment to the sport? And that's when Derry City entered the conversation.
The Wrexham fan base is split down the middle on this one. Some supporters remember McLean's contributions, his professionalism despite limited opportunities. Others point to those interview comments and say it's time for both parties to move on. Social media has been buzzing with debate. McLean gave us good service, but if his heart's not in it, let him go, wrote one fan. Another countered, he's been a model pro, barely played and never caused trouble, show some respect. Derry City supporters, meanwhile, are dreaming of the homecoming. McLean started his career there between 2008 and 2011 before Sunderland paid £350,000 for his services. The prospect of their local hero returning, even at 35 years old, is romantic stuff. Tian and Lynch's no comment only fueled the speculation. When a manager doesn't deny something outright in football, it usually means there's substance to it. Lynch did add, "We want to bring in players we believe will get us closer to where we want to be." Hardly a denial. Behind the scenes at Wrexham, there's a pragmatic acceptance emerging. McLean's contract situation, his age, his diminished role, it all points toward a parting of ways. The question isn't if anymore, it's when, and on what terms. For Wrexham, this represents a changing of the guard. The Championship demands different things than League Two did. McLean was perfect for that journey through the lower leagues. The experience, the warrior mentality, the leadership. But at this level, Parkinson needs legs, tactical flexibility, players who can press for 90 minutes. It's not disrespectful to McLean to acknowledge this. It's just football. Brutal, honest football. This situation also highlights the unique pressure of being Wrexham right now. Every decision is scrutinised, every team selection debated, every player's future dissected on a global stage thanks to Welcome to Wrexham. Managing squad harmony when cameras are documenting everything adds another layer of complexity. Looking ahead, if McLean does return to Derry City, it will be a fitting full-circle moment for his career, from the League of Ireland to the Premier League and back again. There's poetry in that, even if it means saying goodbye to the racecourse. For Wrexham, the January window becomes crucial. If McLean leaves, do they replace him with another experienced head, or trust in the younger players already in the squad? It's decisions like these that will define whether this championship campaign becomes a survival story or something more ambitious. At the end of the day, this is football. Players come, players go, but the club remains. James McLean gave Wrexham good service during an extraordinary chapter in this club's history. If it's time to part ways, we should remember the good moments, not the difficult end. From Hollywood to the racecourse, from the National League to the Championship, this journey has always been about adapting, evolving and moving forward together. Let me know in the comments, should Wrexham keep McLean or let him return to Derry? Hit like if you're backing the Red Dragons no matter what, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you're it!